So now you know everything we know. We're eager to talk with you about anything you want to talk about. We are really good listeners, and in fact we're listening even before any of you come. We know right where you are in relationship to what you want. That's the thing about your inner being. Your inner being knows where you are in relationship to everything you want, and your inner being is offering this vibrational pathway to you. We call that pathway your path of least resistance, because your inner being is offering it, but you can only hear it depending upon what resistance you have in your way. But your inner being is not worried about that, because your inner being knows that you can be guided around your resistance. In other words, the resistance is not a problem. In fact, some of the most joyful journeys that you ever take are not a straight beeline from one place to another as fast as you could go. It's sort of that meandering, discovering life that is so delicious. And so your inner being knows where you stand in relationship to everything you want, and is offering you a vibrational message all day, every day. A message that will lead you ultimately to the manifestation, yes, for sure. But a message that will lead you on a journey of such joy on your way to the manifestation of that you want. And the manifestation that you want, oh, it's good. It's really, really good. It's good, but it'll only keep you happy for the afternoon. It's this ongoing, it's this never-ending flow of new desires that are in the stages, various stages of becoming, that you get to witness. That's the fun of life experience. And if you listen to us with enough intent, and maybe even we might say long enough, as your resistance subsides, you will understand exactly what we meant by that statement. There is so much delicious stuff for you to experience that when you relax a little bit and don't try so hard and focus more on your vibrational reality than on the manifested reality, you're going to have a really good time. Can you imagine a farmer out in a field and he's got a crop in the ground? It's corn. He put it there himself, lots of kernels of corn in the ground. But he's wise because he's been here before. He knows the cycle. He knows the gestation process. He knows the natural process. And he knows that those seeds will become a plant, and that plant will produce food, and that food will produce more seeds. In other words, he understands the process. And so he never goes out the next morning and looks at the ground that looks pretty much like it did the day before, and in disappointment demands that the corn come out and be a big stalk with ears all over it. He doesn't misunderstand. He knows there's a process. But you, so often, we love you so much, you just dig it up and complain about it, and then eat it with dissatisfaction. And we want you to enjoy the process more, because once the process begins, it will surprise and delight you, because you know the crops that you are planting aren't like the predictable corn. The crops that you are planting will come to you in a variety of experiences, in many cases experiences that no one has ever lived before. The promise of your ability to create is so in place, and all that is required for those like you is just a soft understanding that if you can take your eye off what is already manifested, because you've already utilized it to create a whole new vibrational reality, there's enough seed in your vortex to keep you busy for 20 or 30 lifetimes. So if you can just relax about what's already been created and feel satisfied with whatever it is, while you maintain an eagerness for the new that is coming to you, the new exposure to the new experience, the new rendezvous with the new people, the new perfect timing, the new being at the right place at the right time, and most of all, the new preparing yourself to be in a place where you can receive a clear thought directly from your source, and you can recognize that it is just that that you can know the difference between the thought that is coming from your source and the thought that's coming from the spin-off of man's conscious thought. Because when you become one who truly learns step 3 so that you maintain it on a regular basis, then we pronounce you step 4. Step 4 is mastery of step 3. And you might think that's odd, and it is, but mastery of your alignment with your source is the difference between living happily ever after, is the difference between a magnificent life experience, is the difference between being in the replenishing mode where you are continually replenished, not only with new thoughts, but with everything that goes along with your idea of replenishment. Living happily ever after means an ongoing active vibration in the process of becoming. It doesn't mean I want it, oh there, it's there, boom, dumb, dead. There's no dead, but if there's dead, that's as dead as it gets. So what do you want to talk about? It's good. It's really good. We're going to have a wonderful day together. Just relax and don't worry about whether you get called forward or not, because what you want to know is already part of the process. And we will find those in this room who will bring your answer in the clearest form to you. So let's begin.
And within this realm, the power of intent, the power of true intent.
We love hearing this from you, and this is the thing. So when you are living the revolution, when you are living in the revolution where you know so clearly the injustice and what you do not want, can you feel the powerful intent that is shooting out of you in a powerful way? Oh, that intent happens in that step 1 phase. When you're in the contrast, when you are in the injustice, when you're in the misunderstanding, that's when the intent shoots out of you. And that's the thing that is so misunderstood by so many people, because they think that they have to hold fiercely to the intent as in effort and action in order to make something happen. And they don't realize that that intent works against them. That's why step 1 and step 3 are very different steps. That's why the receiving mode is a relaxed state. It's not an intense state. It's an allowing state. It's not a resistant, defiant, justified state. When you're justifying and defending and rationalizing, you're not open and allowing. You're doing more step 1ing, and you're adding to your desire in a stronger way, and maybe even amending your desire. Step 1 matters too. But when you made the decision to come into these physical bodies, it was your intent to spend 10% of your time step 1ing and 90% of your time receiving and allowing. And humans, you've got it flipped. You spend 90% of your time fussing around in the contrast and making your statements of what you want. And do you know that the vibration of a question and the vibration of an answer are very different vibrations? Just like the vibration of a problem and the vibration of a solution are very different vibrations. So if you're beating the drum of the problem or the question, then you cannot be in the receiving mode of the answer. That makes perfect sense, doesn't it? So that's why ask, rage, write letters to the editor, do whatever you want to do, but sometimes meditate and let yourself get into the receiving mode, and then follow the impulse that comes, and then watch what happens. And you're going to discover that your true power, your true leverage is in syncing up with this source energy. Esther heard someone the other day say something very funny, that if you're not willing to meditate, you could just as well be in a place of appreciation as meditation, because there's no resistance in either one. But when you meditate, it's a surefire way to get there. So not being willing to meditate and not getting into the receiving mode is like getting in your car and refusing to take your keys. I did almost all of it. Or like deciding you're going to vacuum your whole house, but you're not going to plug your vacuum in. Just going to run that thing up and down everywhere, make all those marks on the carpet, but I'm not plugging it in. I'm not plugging it in. And when you meditate, when you plug in, oh, that's when you connect to your true power. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely. Good time for a segment of refreshment.